How's it going, everybody? My name is Release Radar, and in today's video, we're going to take an in-depth look at the Razer Kishi. I have been using this as my primary gaming device for the past week, and we're just going to talk about my experiences with it, what I like, what I don't like, and what I would like to see from future iterations of this product. Let's get into it. So before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm filming this flipped over, but I'm going to flip it in post, if that makes any sense. The camera is upside down, but I'm going to try to flip it in post. But if I try to show you guys stuff and it looks weird, that's because everything's flipped for me. But with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and look at the controller. And I'm going to start out this video with a negative. And you can't use this controller as a controller unless your phone's plugged into it. And allow me to explain why that's annoying to me. This thing is actually not that uncomfortable to use and hold in this orientation, but the problem is it does not have Bluetooth. So unless your phone's slotted into the charging port thing on it, you can't use this. So while I would love to use this as a controller paired with my PC or paired with my phone just to play games like this, straight up will not work like that. So that's annoying, and that is something I would love to see from a future iteration of this product, is the ability to use it collapsed as a Bluetooth controller. But with that nitpick out of the way, let's just go ahead and talk about what buttons you get. So you get two fairly comfortable feeling clickable joysticks. These do feel a lot better than the joysticks on the Nintendo Switch, but it doesn't take that much to beat those. D-pad, very mushy, not satisfying to click. Your home button, start button, and select button all feel super amazing and clicky. The ABXY buttons are comfortable enough, but if you can see this here, they're not colored correctly. And that's because there's an actual official Xbox branded version of this controller. So if you do not have the Xbox branded version of this controller, A will be red, B will be green, Y will be blue, and X will be yellow. Where it should be, A is green, B is red, X is blue, and Y is yellow. So that's annoying, but I don't look at the controller when I play, right? But if you're playing a game and you're not used to the layout of controls, right? Like when we all first started gaming, we would look at the buttons to see where they were before we got used to everything. But if you look at red and you look down and you see red, but you're meant to be pressing B, you might press A on accident because the colors aren't the traditional Xbox layout of colors. But once again, there is an Xbox version of the controller, and I assume that's why they did it that way. Clickable joysticks, very satisfying to click, feel great to use, better than the Switch. Your start, home, and select buttons all feel great. D-pad is very mushy, not a fan of it. These buttons feel good enough. The triggers are not that satisfying to click, and there's no click at all to your shoulder buttons. Other than that, this thing is really comfortable to hold. It's just that the buttons don't feel all that well. So this is what it looks like collapsed. It does expand, which is how you fit your phone in there. You know, you're not going to fit your phone in there like this. And it is very disappointing to me that you cannot use it as a Bluetooth controller while it is collapsed. Maybe that's something we will see later down the line with other iterations of this product. So to expand and collapse it, you flip it over to the back here, and you pull on these two tabs, and you push back, and then bam, it opens up. And so this is the iPhone version. There is also an Android version that comes with USB Type-C. The iPhone version obviously has Lightning. And at the bottom of both of them, on Android you will have Type-C down here, but on the iOS version you have Lightning, and you can charge your phone while you are gaming with it. Now this works natively with Android and natively with iOS. If you know anything about phones, iOS doesn't really have native home screen controller support. So on Android, you can just plug your phone in and control your phone with all of the buttons on. On iOS, it doesn't work that way. You still have to use the touchscreen to navigate to whatever game you want to play, and then you can use the controller. Now, one thing that I will say is awesome, other alternative modes of controllers for iOS devices or Android devices have this kind of thing where you would clip your phone, and I actually have a controller here I can show you an example with. I don't have a clip, but most other mobile controllers have like a little clip, right? You clip your phone onto the top of it, and that's how you play, but it uses Bluetooth. The thing that I love about the Razer Kishi is that because it doesn't have any Bluetooth capabilities, you actually slot your phone directly into it. So this is the iOS version. As I said, it also has an Android version, and it supports up to an iPhone 12, but you can fit a 13 Pro Max in here, and that's the phone that I have. So let me just go ahead and grab my phone real quick. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, this will not work with a case attached, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go ahead and unlock my phone. Actually, no, I'm going to slot it in first. So the way you slot it in, you get your charging port, you line it up with this piece right here, and you just click it in. And then on the other side, you stretch it all the way around your phone. and bam, your phone's basically a Nintendo Switch. And I'm actually using this not to play mobile games. Mobile games will work natively, but I'm actually using this to play Steam games. So there's an app on both iOS and Android called Steam Link, and you can use this app basically to control your PC remotely on your phone via your internet connection. Now, as you can see, I have all of these things right here on the screen, and it's a little bit hard to see because it's just not focusing, but the one on the bottom says good connection, and there's a check mark next to that. You need a decent internet connection for this to be able to work. And with the Steam Link app, you basically can play your games streamed from your device over your local network to your phone. So I'm just going to hit play. Sorry about the weird cut, guys. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but you slot it in, you hit the play button on remote play, and then bam, you're here. So this is Steam Link. You know, it's the normal Steam Link everybody's used to using if you even use it at all. But because this controller plugs directly into your phone, you can basically control Steam with this controller. So you can play any of your controller-supported games. Go away, Uber Eats. And I'm going to start out with LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So this is one of my favorite games recently. I've already completed all 9 chapters. I love LEGO Star Wars. I actually played the crap out of, let's see if I can find it in my library here. But these are all the games I can play on this, by the way. So we got things like 7 Days to Die, Aim Lab, Amnesia Rebirth, Assassin's Creed Unity, Ark Survival Evolved, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Astroneer, Back for Blood, BioShock, Battlefield 2042. You know, that game's great. BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite, all the Borderlands games. I have Borderlands 3 on Epic. And I will put out a disclaimer that this only works with Steam games. So if you have Borderlands 3 like I do on Epic and you want to play Borderlands 3 like this, it won't work. It only works with Steam Link and a Steam game. So if you own Borderlands 3 on Steam, that's fine. But I bought the game when it came out, and it did not come out on Steam for a year. So I'm a huge Borderlands fan, and I wanted to buy it and play it, so I bought it and played it on Epic. But because of that, and because it's not on Steam, you can't actually use the Steam Link app to control that game. But let's not do LEGO Star Wars. Let's do Halo. So we're booting up here, Halo the Master Chief Collection, right? It does the whole anti-cheat thing. It's being a little glitchy, but that's just because it's trying to full screen the anti-cheat window, and then it realizes that's not the game and moves it away. But basically what you see on the Steam Link app is your main computer screen. So I have multiple displays, as you saw when if I leave the little technical difficulty in. Basically, when I opened up the Steam Link app, it started taking the input from my my left monitor. So I have 3 screens. I have one in the middle, which is my primary gaming display. That is a 3440 by 1440 21:9 aspect ratio display. So here's the game, Halo the Master Chief Collection. I'm going to drag this out of the way. You do have access to your keyboard and mouse while playing, so if you need to do something with keyboard and mouse inputs, you can. But yeah, here we are, Halo the Master Chief Collection. So I'm just going to go to campaigns. I'm going to do, let's do Halo 3 ODST. That's a good game. I like this game. So we're going to boot up Halo 3 ODST here on my phone, and it's, you know, it's taking the signal from my computer, which I'm sitting right in front of, so it's actually like loading on my computer screen. And just like that, bam, we are playing Halo 3 ODST on my phone. So let me turn off some lights, try to get a better view of the phone display, and we'll play a little bit of this game. All right, there we go. I turned off one of the lights I was using to record with. So yeah, this is Halo 3 ODST on my phone. And I can jump, I can look around, I can shoot, I can reload. And I'm actually like using the controller, right? But since I'm sitting right in front of my computer, I'm looking at my computer screen while playing, and there is practically no lag noticeable whatsoever. So I'm just going to kill some grunts here. I'm actually really bad with controller. I've been playing on mouse and keyboard for a long time, trying to remember what the punch button is. Punch him, shoot that grunt, reload, jump out of the way. So this is Halo 3 ODST that I'm playing on my phone with a, how do I throw grenades? Oh no, left trigger. Okay, that's weird. I haven't played Halo with controller in so long. Since it came out on PC, I haven't had to play Halo with a controller. So I can use my preferred input, which is mouse and keyboard. Oh, we both threw a grenade at each other. I'm going to get that brute. Come here. What? Bro, he mad. Take out some grunts. You guys won't be able to hear this because I have my phone volume turned down. But like, I'm playing Halo 3 ODST on the Razer Kishi, and it's basically working flawlessly. I need to get some cover here. Ooh, did I stick him? No, I did not. Yeah, I'm very bad with controller, guys. Feel free to tear me apart in the comments for this. But I just wanted to give you an example of just one specific game. Now, there is a problem with gameplay, and I will show you when I get into Far Cry 3. That's another game I will test here. And if Far Cry 3 doesn't decide to load, because that happens sometimes, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga will. But yeah, and this does run at 60 FPS. It caps your games no matter what your native frame rate is. It does cap them to 60 FPS. So while this game runs at like 300 FPS when I'm playing it on my computer, while I'm using Steam Link, it does cap it at 60. But that's fine, right? So this is Halo 3 ODST running flawlessly on my phone, right? I'm having no issues. And I will say that because I have an ultra-wide monitor, it fills out more of my screen. So if you have a 16:9 panel, which is the standard aspect ratio, you know, mine's 21:9. If you have a 16:9, you might have black bars on the sides, and that's nothing wrong with that. It just means that if you have a phone with a 21:9 aspect ratio, it will have black bars on the sides because your computer screen is not 21:9. But that's just kind of how aspect ratios work, right? You know how when you watch a movie, there's those black bars at the top and the bottom? If I was to watch a movie on my computer screen, there would not be those black bars at the top and the bottom because my monitor's resolution is the standard cinema aspect ratio, which is 21:9. So that's why it fills out my whole full, phone screen. And, you know, I do have a notch because this is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So if I look up at the sky here, you know, you can see that notch right there. Very annoying. Not a huge fan of it. But is what it is, right? Notches and hole punch cameras have become the norm on phones. So yeah, this is Halo 3 ODST being played on my computer, being streamed to my phone with like, I mean, you're seeing me press these buttons, right? There's like no latency whatsoever. So I will explain a problem that I do have with this. And if you're playing a game that requires you to hold down Y to do something, like in Far Cry 3, you hold down Y to heal. That is a very important thing to do while playing a game where, you know, the enemies actually are not that dumb and they will actually try and flank you and they will do damage. You need to be able to heal, right? But the problem is when you hold down Y, it opens up this little menu here. So what I had to do in Far Cry 3 is bind the input of holding down Y to holding down left on the D-pad. And if I hold down left on the D-pad, I'm able to heal without that sub-menu coming up. So if you do have a game where you have to hold down Y to do something, there's probably a way to rebind this, but I haven't figured it out yet. So if you play a game that requires you to hold down Y to do stuff, it's going to be very annoying because every single time you hold it down, you're going to bring up this little sub-menu here. And I have not figured out how to make that not happen. But this is just like a real quick look at the Razer Kishi here. And as I said, I'm using Steam Link to play my games. And this has been the way I've been primarily gaming for the last week. Like, I've been sitting on my couch watching Family Guy and using this to play stuff like Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which I actually beat on this thing. Or Halo 3 ODST, you know, any game that you have in your Steam library that's locally installed on your computer that has controller support, you can play it like this. Now, as I said earlier in the video, you cannot play games that aren't on Steam. So let's go ahead and give that a try real quick. I will show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to save and quit here, and I'm going to press the Steam button, and that will bring up this little menu, and I can go down to where it says exit game, close, and it'll actually completely close out of the application. But I want to test out a game that I don't have on Steam. All right, so here we are at my desktop, and I'm actually just going to use my mouse to control this. I'm going to open up the Xbox app, and then from the Xbox app, I'm going to open a game that I know is controller supported, and that is Forza Horizon 5. This game is available on Steam, but I do not own it on Steam. I have Game Pass for PC, so I have it on Game Pass for PC. So this is a game that is obviously controller supported. If I wanted to play this with my Xbox controller, it would work flawlessly. But the thing is, let's say I'm lying in bed. I want to play Forza Horizon 5 on Xbox Game Pass on PC with my Razer Kishi. So I go ahead, I hit play, and as you can see here, it is starting to load. So we're just going to give it a couple seconds here to load. And sorry about my camera focusing and unfocusing during this video. I don't know what the hell it's doing, but that's just been bothering me. But we're going to wait here for the application to load. And you see it's going through its anti-cheat. There's the little launcher thing. The game's going to open up, and it appears like it's going to work fine, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So everything's loaded up. Problem is, you see how I'm controlling the mouse with this, right? So that's already not good. Like there, that's my other screen. That's this screen, and then there's my third monitor. So I can actually just go between all three of my monitors with this mouse, which is kind of funny. So we're going to wait on the Xbox Game Studios, like all of their little advertisements, the things that play before you actually get into a game here. And then the game's going to load here in a second. It's being a little slower than usual. I don't really know why. All right, and here we are in Forza Horizon 5. And straight up, doesn't work. If I try to use this joystick, which is the joystick I would use to look around, it just moves the mouse over to my other desktop. If I try to accelerate with the trigger, nothing happens. If you had this game on Steam, it would work, but because this is a game that I don't have on Steam, it won't work. A and B work to right and left click, and then this joystick controls your mouse. But yeah, games that you don't have on Steam will not work with this. So if you're planning on playing games that you own on Epic, or games you own on Xbox Game Pass for PC, or games you own on Origin, or games you own on Uplay or whatever, they will not work with the Steam Link. So you can hit this button to get back to Steam, but to close the game, I will actually have to manually minimize big picture and then Alt F4 out of the game. So if it's a game that you do not own on Steam, it just won't work. But that is basically my first look here at the Razer Kishi. I like this thing, and the Steam Link issue is not an issue of the Razer Kishi. It's just Steam Link, right? So it would be the same no matter what on Steam Link. I've actually put a lot of time into modded Black Ops 3 Zombies like this, and that actually also works flawlessly. GTA 5, No Man's Sky, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Tunic, Power Wash Simulator, Stardew Valley, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Far Cry 3, Halo the Master Chief Collection, whatever game that you own that's locally installed on your device, you can basically stream it to this Razer Kishi with Steam Link on your phone. And it's basically like a great value Steam Deck, right? I'm waiting on my Steam Deck. My order's reserved for Q3 2022. I'm going to be able to order it sometime in October. I've got the money set aside. I am just sitting on it and I'm waiting. And this is just scratching that itch of mobile gaming that I've had recently. And so pick this up. If you have the iOS version, costs $80 before tax. That's $80 US. So you can convert that to your own currency. I don't know if it's available worldwide. I'm pretty sure it is though. But if you're interested in this, I do really recommend it for the games that you have on your Steam library that are locally installed on your device that are controller supported. You can play them flawlessly, I would say, if you have a powerful enough internet connection like this. So I couldn't really find any videos talking about the Razer Kishi experience with the Steam Link, and that's what I wanted to focus on here. And I really enjoy it. So I might do a follow-up video that's more in-depth of actual gameplay. So if you guys want to see specific games that I have in my library, I might test out Borderlands, Black Ops 3, Dishonored, Elden Ring would be a fun one to do, Fear 3. I might just go through and play a bunch of different games and just give you an idea of how they perform on this device. Not 100% sure if I'm going to do that, though. I do have a friend who actually bought a competitor to this device as well. Same Kyle I was talking about earlier in the video. He bought a Backbone about the same time I bought this, and it was just completely coincidental. We never told each other that we were buying these products. But I might do a video later on down the line comparing this to the Backbone, which is pretty much this thing's direct competitor. Now, I'm very happy with this, but he's also very happy with his Backbone. So I might have him on the microphone talk about his experiences with the Backbone, and that's a project that I am interested in doing, but we do live fairly far apart. I've moved about an hour away from him. So that is a project I want to do, but, you know, time's a factor. He works, I go to college, so we do just have to make our schedules align to make that happen. But thank you so much for watching this video. This was just a quick little casual in-depth look at the Razer Kishi paired with Steam Link. As I said earlier in the video, if you want to just play mobile games with this and you don't have a gaming computer, that will also work perfectly fine. But it's just really cool to see that I can play my Steam library lying in bed or sitting on the toilet, which I would never do, but you could, in theory, do that, or sitting on the couch. And another cool thing about the Steam Link app is that no matter where you are in the world, if your computer's powered on and you have Steam installed and you have an internet connection where you're located, you can remote into your computer. So I wouldn't recommend playing games. Like if I'm out at the dog park over here, I wouldn't boot this up and play games on it like this. But let's say I left a game running on my computer, right? I can get into this to power it down. So it's a cool app. And I think people have just pretty much forgotten about Steam Link. You know, the Steam Link product came out, didn't really get that much traction. The Steam controller came out, you know. Steam has launched several products that have kind of disappeared in the mainstream eye, but Steam Link, it's still fully supported. It's on iOS, it's on Android, and if you have an iPhone and you have $80 to spend, I recommend this. Or if you have an Android, it's actually cheaper for the Android version. I believe the Android version is only $50. So Now, the Android version is Type-C, though. So if you have micro USB and you want this thing, I do not believe there is a micro USB version of it. So you have to have an Android phone that's Type-C. But I've rambled on for pretty much too long here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you're interested in buying the Razer Kishi to pair it with Steam Link or just to play mobile games. I think it's very comfortable, and it's a really interesting alternative to the Steam Deck. I was very skeptical when I tried this out at first, but I can assure you that if you have a decent internet connection, which I will put my speeds up on screen again right here. I'll also do that at the start of the video. But if you have a decent enough internet connection, this is something that you can do, and you can play your games anywhere in your house from your gaming PC that have controller support. So thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. The comparison to the Backbone is coming within the next month or so. It's just, we are both so busy. It's just hard to have our schedules align. But I hope to see you guys in the next video. Full setup tour coming soon. If you haven't seen my apartment tour, I will have that linked down below. Thanks for watching. My name is Release Radar, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.